There have been some great rivalries in the NFL, from Tom Brady and Peyton Manning to Steve Smith and Aqib Talib. It looks like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes could be the next great rivalry. Speaking of Mahomes, the Chiefs have outdone themselves in the last year, so it's no surprise they have some really famous fans out there. Let's get right into all of this and more. First up, let's look at the beginning of the Mahomes versus Allen rivalry. Football is the one sport where the success of a team and the NFL as a whole feed off of the single most important player in the team, the quarterback. As we just said, there's no shortage of great rivalries between quarterbacks in the NFL. And somehow, each season, these rivalries entertain most fans. Even the team's rivalries are tied to this whole thing. Allen and Mahomes are hands down the best quarterbacks that this season of the NFL has to offer. The Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs have clashed like 5 times over the past 2 years, and each time it's just been an emotional roller coaster for fans of both sides. After all, both teams boast some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. With Mahomes at number 1 this season, there's a huge chance that Allen could overtake him. Let's hope they put up an exciting game when the Bills and the Chiefs finally face off against each other this season. Next, why is this showdown going to be so amazing? The Chiefs and the Bills have an amazing record this season, with both of them currently standing at 4-1. It's honestly impeccable, concerning the way certain other contenders are performing this year. Do the Bucs ring a bell? The Buffalo Bills were caught lacking just once so far this season, in the game against the Miami Dolphins. Nobody was really expecting the 21-19 loss, and if you're a Bills fan, you know they were cutting it very close in the game. As far as the Chiefs are concerned, they slipped just once in Week 3 as well. The Indianapolis Colts secured their first win of the season against the Kansas City Chiefs, which was a huge shock. Fans and commentators were taken by surprise when the 2017 defeat happened, but it was amazing. These two teams are legendary right now, and the same goes for their quarterbacks. We can't wait to see them in action in their first game. Everyone's super excited to see them in action, considering that Josh Allen could be a huge threat to Patrick Mahomes' spot as the best quarterback. Of course, both of them are superstars right now, which is only adding to the whole hype. Moving on to the stage is now set. It seems like the perfect opportunity for a showdown between these two superstars of the NFL. One thing's for sure though, this isn't going to be the last time that they face off against each other. It's honestly going to be epic, and we can't wait for it. The last time the Bills and the Chiefs went up against each other in the playoffs, it ended in heartbreak for Mahomes and the rest of the Bills squad. Are they finally going to pull a reverse Uno card on the situation? Ric Flair says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And it looks like this might just be true for Allen and the Bills. The Chiefs are doing exceptionally well right now, but considering their opposing team's performance, all it could take is one seemingly tiny slip-up, and they'd be the underdogs in the blink of an eye. Let's talk about some important predictions. This might just be the most exciting rivalry this year, so it goes without saying that everyone has a lot to say about it. Neil Reynolds from the Inside the Huddle podcast said that the Bills are ascending, and this might just be their year. Apparently, people have higher hopes for the Bills than the Chiefs. Either way, the two teams facing off is bound to add some extra excitement to the season. Finally, what lies ahead? People have been saying that football is in decline, especially when you look at the lack of young talent. Mahomes and Allen keep proving these doubters wrong, because no matter what the outcome of the games is, they always put up an amazing fight. They're the cream of the crop, leading the rest of the newer, younger talents. From Joe Burrow to Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, there's definitely a lot of potential. If you're one of those people who are worried about the future of the NFL, just know that it's in safe hands as long as these two superstars are in the game. One thing's for sure, the Kansas City Chiefs are a superstar squad, and with that comes enormous responsibility. But they have their fair share of superstar fans too. Let's look at who they are. First up, Paul Rudd. We all know this unproblematic Hollywood actor who ages like fine wine. Something you might not know about the Ant-Man star is that he went to the University of Kansas and studied theater, of course. When you think about this, it's no surprise that he's so loyal to the Chiefs. Paul has always been super vocal about supporting the Chiefs too. He even talked about his love for the NFL team and Patrick Mahomes in particular on Good Morning Football. Paul is a lifelong Chiefs fan, and that's for sure. His support for the team is actually unreal. unreal. He was even invited on the field when they won the Super Bowl 54 to celebrate with Mahomes. Two legends together. Who would have thought? Next, Henry Cavill. You know Cavill for his superb performance in Superman, but did you know he's a die-hard Kansas City Chiefs fan? Seems really unlikely, right? Especially when you think about the fact that he's literally British. The Witcher actor talked about his love for the Chiefs. It's a no-brainer, honestly, but he explained his love for the team on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Even though he grew up in New Jersey, he said he's a huge fan of the Chiefs. After all, Superman is from Kansas. The 39-year-old actor explained that once he started to like football, he realized he had to choose a team to stick by. Henry said that he wanted to make this decision on the grounds of something that wouldn't change, and that was the Superman aspect. It makes sense why he chose this team. Let's move on to Brad Pitt. He's only one of the greatest actors of our time. Even though Brad supports the New Orleans Saints, he doesn't shy away from showing his love for the Chiefs either. Back in 2020, he wore a Chiefs hat to the SAG Awards. When an interviewer asked about it, he said, "My Chiefs won today," and it's clear that he was so proud of the team. Even though we don't exactly know why Pitt loves the team enough to support two teams at once, we understand his feelings. The actor spent quite a lot of time at the University of Missouri, which is probably why he loves the Chiefs so much and has a special place in his heart for them. Next up, we have John Amos. You probably know him most famously from his role as James Evans Sr. on the show Good Times. There are probably a lot of things you don't know about John Amos, and one of these things is that he's an avid Kansas City Chiefs supporter. He's been supporting them for literally decades. Did you know that Amos used to play for the Jersey City Nets and Waterbury Orbits when the Atlantic Coast Football League used to be a thing? Unfortunately, that was over in just a few years. John even signed up to be a free agent for the Chiefs back in the 60s, but the coach at the time told him he's not built for football. According to Coach Hank Strom, he was just a man trying to play football. Even though he didn't get a chance to play for the Chiefs, he's still been supporting them from the stands for decades. Finally, Rob Riggle. Of course, there are a lot more famous KC Chiefs fans, but we can't possibly get into all of them in this video. For now, the last one we'll be looking at is Rob Riggle. He's an actor and comedian, and you definitely know him from one movie or another. And if you don't know him from that, you've definitely seen him on Saturday Night Live. Rob's always bringing a smile to our faces, but it looks like the Chiefs winning brings a smile to his. If you go to any Chiefs game during the season, chances are you'll see Rob Riggle egging on fans in the stadium. He's been a lifelong supporter of the Chiefs, and it looks like that's not changing, like ever. At almost every game, Rob dons the bright red jersey and is always super invested in the game. It's just amazing how football brings people together every year. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think the Allen versus Mahomes rivalry is overhyped, or does it deserve all the attention it's getting? Who was the most surprising celebrity to support Kansas City? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.